1. Jesus calms the storm. Trust in God. When Jesus and his disciples were sailing on the sea, they suddenly encountered a violent storm. The wind and waves were fierce, the boat began to shake violently, and water continued to pour into the boat. The disciples were extremely panicked because they were afraid that the boat would sink, and they all asked Jesus for help. But Jesus stood up calmly and rebuked the wind and waves. In an instant the wind calmed down and the sea returned to calm. Then, Jesus gently asked his disciples, "Why are you afraid?" He reminded them to trust God in their difficult times. This experience made the disciples deeply aware of Jesus' power and filled them with wonder and awe. Jesus demonstrated that faith in God's presence can bring inner peace and help us face the storms of life. 2. Daniel in the lion's den. Stand firm in faith. Daniel violated the new law because he insisted on praying to God, and was framed and sentenced to be thrown into the lion's den. The king was helpless due to the decree he issued. Daniel remained steadfast in his faith and showed no fear in the face of the terrible situation that was about to befall him. He trusted that God would protect him and remained calm in the lion's den. When night fell, God sent an angel to come down and seal the lions' mouths, so that the lions could not harm Daniel. The next morning, the king rushed to the lion's den and was surprised to find Daniel standing there unharmed. After this incident, the king issued an order to honor Daniel's God and praise his great power. This story illustrates how important it is to have faith and trust that God will protect us, even when we are in fearful situations. 3. The fellowship of the early church, supporting each other. After Jesus ascended into heaven, the Holy Spirit descended upon his disciples and led them to establish the early church. However, because Christians were persecuted at the time, they felt fear and insecurity in their hearts, but they still chose to remain firm in their faith and support each other. The early Christians were united in fellowship and steadfast in following the teachings of the apostles. They met together every day to share food and pray together. They shared each other's needs, and those who had money willingly gave it to help their poor brothers and sisters. Their fellowship life has won the love and respect of everyone. God has also continued to increase their numbers, making the big family of faith stronger and stronger. The fellowship of the early church demonstrated the power of support networks as a foundation for care and shared faith, which can strengthen people's resilience, support each other, and reduce panic.